Joe. So many choices, so many chances, so many steals, so many wins. Oh my God, that's the voice. Hey fam, what's up, what's up, what's up? This is Robert Anton here, robertantonnyc.com, coming to you with your no frills, the voice commentary from a singer. Yes sirree, we have 2 more nights of the battle rounds to go, and the previews, they started and they looked really good, the battles that are coming up. Selena Gomez, Paisley, Fogerty, and Missy Elliott are back as mentors, and the coaches each have 1 steal left. To start out the night, we had TeamBlake with Blaine Mitchell versus Blind Joe, and they did Old Time Rock and Roll by Bob Seger. Now, in first rehearsal, Blake was telling Joe to change some of the melody. He was saying, you know, there are places where you can do some things with that to make it really interesting. And Brad was telling Blaine that he wasn't quite hitting some of the notes. They sounded pretty good in final rehearsal, and Blake was telling Joe not to step on Blaine's parts. So Joe played his guitar and started out this performance. He came on pretty strong and passed it off to Blaine while interjecting commentary during his vocals. Go on and say, yeah man, hit it now. I was like, okay. I liked both of their voices, but really enjoyed the more grounded tone of Joe. And Blaine didn't interject any vocals into Joe's verses, so I was like, that's kind of like lopsided, right? Joe also got off a really nice ending. So Pharrell said it was exhilarating and they were both great, but preferred Joe. Gwen said she was impressed with Blaine working the stage. Adam called Blaine a rock and roll star, and Blake called it a dead tie, but chose Blind Joe because he said he's something really special. And Adam chimed in to steal Blaine. And I've been saying on Twitter, it's a win-win. Love it. Always love a win-win. Next we had TeamAdam with Cassandra Robertson versus Viktor Kiraly. They did Nobody Knows by the Tony Rich Project. Now listen y'all, this is not by Babyface, it's by the Tony Rich Project. John asked them not to modulate the key in the song and complimented them on their harmony. Adam told Viktor to finish his phrases and do it like everything matters. In final rehearsal, John said they were scary good and asked if they'd gone out on the road together. They both got in a little moan before they started this performance, and Viktor looked like he was gonna cry as he started singing. Oh, did Cassandra look like she was a little older Fantasia? To you, she looked like she was to me, and she was a solid vocalist. They really shared this song with each other, and each had stellar moments. A very touching conversation between the 2 of them is what I wrote. All the coaches stood for them. Blake said it felt like he was listening to a record and said he was impressed by Cassandra and said Viktor stayed equal with someone of her caliber. Pharrell said she was magical and undeniable. Gwen was blown away that Viktor kept up with Cassandra, and Adam chose Viktor Kiraly. He said because he was too interesting to pass up, right? And then no one stole Cassandra, and I'm like, everybody's saying that he kept up with her, but then she didn't get stolen. Oh my God, come on, y'all, what is it? But if you would steal me, make sure to thumb up the commentary and let me know. And also let other people know we're over here discussing the voice. Let me know what you thought of Cassandra not being stolen down in the comments and what you thought of that battle. Thank you guys so much for your thoughts, your comments, and your thumbs. I really appreciate it. Next we had TeamGwen with Chase Kerby versus Korin Bukowski. They did Samson by Regina Spektor. And Selena liked Chase's ending on his notes and called his falsetto interesting. She said it wasn't pretty, but it was interesting. Gwen lamented that Korin wasn't giving her the dynamics and power that she'd shown her in her audition. In final rehearsals, both the coaches got shivers while they were singing and said Korin had really stepped up her game, and Gwen told Chase not to close his eyes during performance. So Korin kicked this off, and it was definitely more solid than first rehearsal. I liked how she balanced the breathiness with a more solid sound. Chase had a little harder time with the melody of this, but handled it pretty well. I felt like it was taking all their energy just to produce the vocals, and so they were standing there at the microphone stand like this, like they could not get away from it. And Chase was having a little trouble. It seemed to be going in and out of that falsetto so often. Adam told Chase he has a great voice, but said his transitions were rough, and told Korin she was perfectly on pitch and emotional. Blake said he was mesmerized by the performance and said Chase was really nailing it. Pharrell said the song wasn't in Chase's wheelhouse, but preferred Korin on this song. And Gwen chose Korin Bukowski because she has power behind her voice and style. So next up we had TeamPharrell with Evan McKeel versus Biederer. They did Higher Ground by Stevie Wonder. And they got nothing but compliments in their first rehearsal, except Riley went off on one note. Like, see, and I heard it and I was like, oh, she's a little off. Just one note, okay? And Pharrell asked Evan to turn it up. So they were rocking out in final rehearsal, but Riley was struggling with the song. Evan came out pretty strong on this in performance, but I was also liking Riley's sound more than I did in rehearsals. Did he look like he disappeared when he turned to the side? He was so skinny, it looked like he turned, he was just, where'd he go? I liked when they got into each other's face and did the riffs together. They did it twice. It was really nice, really beautiful, well executed. This was a pretty good battle and they both sang well. Evan came off more polished and intense for me. He really worked the stage too. He did a great job. Gwen said his voice in his body is magic and called Riley's voice rich. Adam said they both had huge triumphs but preferred Evan. And Blake said he destroyed the performance talking about Evan and said Riley has the type of voice he'd recognize, but Evan won the battle. So Pharrell chose Evan McKeel because he's done something people haven't seen before, and Gwen stole Riley as she was walking off the stage. I got the last minute, she went poop. It don't stink in here, I'm just rambling. Okay, Team Gwen was up next with Braiden Sunshine versus Lyndsey M. They did No One Else to Blame by Howard Jones, and Selena told Lyndsey to be more confident in first rehearsal and told Braiden he has the ability to transfix people, and Gwen said his emotion is instinctual. Then in final rehearsal, Gwen started giving Braiden some notes on action and interaction and performance. Watch it, it was very nice. So as they started, they gave each other a little fist bump and faced each other to start singing. Braiden started okay, but I let out a little involuntary when she started, right? Oh my God, Lyndsey, she came in and she sounded so fresh and so sweet and so pure and so beautiful. I just got find enough adjectives, okay? She was just more into the performance and more comfortable on stage. While I liked his sound and the moments where he connected and let go, he was just often just too, he was kind of wandering around watching her and just wasn't totally connecting and committing to everything. Adam said it was like a tennis match. Blake said she had won until he hit that note at the end. Pharrell said they were both interesting performers while calling her voice seductive, and then he clarified by saying mesmerizing. Gwen chose Braiden Sunshine because he's a diamond in the rough. And no one stole Lyndsey. The final battle of the night. Do I look like I'm steaming right here? Okay, the final battle of the night was TeamAdam with Andy and Alex versus Chance Pena, and they did Wherever You Will Go by The Calling. So John called the girls Little Angels and called Chance Very Pure in first rehearsal. Adam told them to listen to Lady Antebellum during first rehearsal for the mix of their vocals. In final rehearsal, both coaches had very minor notes for each of them, but called it a vocal masterpiece. So the girls had beautiful harmony when they started out this, but the crowd didn't applaud until Chase started singing. Then the three-part harmony was really beautiful to hear, but I was wondering if the girls were going to sing anything separately, like each one sing something, and it didn't happen, which to me it kind of seemed like they were simply backing him up, like they were the background vocals, he was doing the lead vocal and they were doing background. All the coaches stood for them when they finished. Blake called it magical and said there's something about sibling harmony that's like nothing else, and said Chance snuck up on him and favored Chance in this. Pharrell said they walked in like two unicorns and said Chance's voice led in that performance. Gwen called the twins' harmony candy in her ears, but said she'd be fangirling over Chance if she were 15. And Adam chose Andy and Alex because of their ethereal performance style. But Blake chimed in to steal Chance, saying he has a special voice. Oh Lord, so many steals, so many. I hope you guys enjoyed the commentary. Thank you so much for thumbing it up and commenting down in the comment section. I appreciate you so much. I'll see you tomorrow night for the final night of the battle rounds. This is Robert Anton, robertantonnyc.com. I am out. Peace.